You're listening to talktainmentradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of talktainmentradio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
Welcome to Stairway to Heaven. And this is your host, Dr. Bass Claude Smith, and this is the second anniversary of Stairway to Heaven. And I'm so proud about that this is the second year, because we've been on about, this will be 2 years today. And the reason why I'm so glad about it, that the show has been on a year, and the show has had we had some struggles with people and guests with everything, but still we continue on. I'll tell you how Stairway to Heaven got started. Stairway to Heaven got started about 2 years ago when I was in media school, and I didn't have a name for the show that we was getting. See how we gonna do on radio, how we gonna have a name for ourselves. Well, as I went to the school and learned everything, the media school, the name popped up. Stairway to Heaven popped up. And when it came up, I said, well, it sounds good. We'll call it Stairway to Heaven. And it's been there 2 years. But I'm so glad that it's here on Talktainment Radio. I was surprised that how the show got. So glad the show is here on this station, because when I graduated, I was wondering what I was going to do. So finally got on Talktainment Radio, gave it the name, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. There's been other shows under Stairway to Heaven, like Women in the Community, that's under Stairway to Heaven, and there's Knowing Word of Wisdom, that's following the Stairway to Heaven. Also, Stairway to Heaven is brought to you by the Refuge Baptist Church and the Keys of Harmony, which they were here on the anniversary last year, and we didn't have anniversary this year because of the coronavirus. Mostly, I want to say that the show is a pusher or the starter to produce gospel groups across the nation and here in the city also. They also help produce ministers little small ministers that have the small churches that never have a chance to people get to hear them or never get a chance to come on radio or TV. And these ministers I had a few of them here that have been here, and they have really waiting for them to bring them back, and they will be coming back. And some preaching, my own pastor, I'm trying to get him here, Reverend Jones. But anyway, the show does promote various groups and around another country. A little bit about Stairway to Heaven. Stairway to Heaven will be here, continuing, we're always going. So I'm so glad that this is the second year that we've been on, and hopefully that will make a third year. Come on. My wife and she will be, and her little ladies will be coming on next couple of weeks or so. So they're working on some things till they get some things together. So anyway, I'd like to make my shout out to Mount Carmel Hospital lab technicians off of Schrock Road. Those ladies and gentlemen there are working hard to help you to get better and how to find a cure. And when they take the blood from you, that's where it goes. So I'm giving a shout out to those ladies and gentlemen there at the Mount Carmel lab over there off of Schrock Road. Anyway, since this is the second anniversary of Stairway to Heaven, I'm going to do a little commentary and say some things about it and other things, and I'm going to give you a little word of inspiration. So like I said, it's the second year of Stairway to Heaven. I'm so excited, and I'm glad that God brought us this far to continue on praising His name. I want to take time out to say some little inspiration about how we should love each other and how people are doing things towards each other. These are the last days, and we living on borrowed time. And borrowed time is, that's what I was told, and that's what I heard. These are the days we're living on borrowed time, and a lot of people don't take this time don't take it seriously enough to realize that there's too many shootings, there's too many robberies, that people just done got to the point where they don't care. And sometimes people are getting to the point that the panic is getting there worse, and it's getting there, and people just don't know what to do. I mean, staying at home is fine, but when you keep a dog or a cat in the house for so long without giving him fresh air, once he get out, he's like a wild animal. And sometimes there's things that I had heard on the news and seen the news that this is just people just it's getting out of hand, and we are getting out of hand to try to control this. So we have to come down, keep calm. Sometimes we have to keep ourselves calm, and when we keep ourselves together, keep ourselves calm, we're better off. But sometimes you can't hold that calmness and you can't hold that quietness to pull yourself together. Now there are nervous people, and there's people that wonder what's going on. And some people go out in the streets, go to the store, not the street, go to the store sometimes, take on walks, and we don't know who's walking behind us, who's walking beside us. Even though during the disturbing the riots and everything, during the peaceful demonstration, people was trying to bring peace and try to get things together, pull it together, get rid of some of the rough stuff that's been going on and some of the bad tactics that was going on. But still, there's always a few that will come in and mess up a peaceful march or a peaceful demonstration. And it's not because to let out their fear. They're out here trying to let people know let them know that we're here, and we want something done about what's going on today, what's going on. Period. Too many of us today have had things come to us, and too many of us have things that have hurt us. And when people hurt us, I'm gonna stop right. When people have hurt us, we want to do something back to them. We can't always do stuff back to other people. Sometimes we have to move on, get along. We have to learn to forgive each other for what each of us did to each other. Many of us don't even think about how we hurt that person or the person hurt us. But when we get hurt, sometimes we feel bad and we want to go to a closet or somewhere and cry, and don't think about the hurt. Or they think about the hurt, they try to figure out how I'm going to get over this. And when you try to work hard, sometimes it's best to let it, as I always say, flow down the river. Let it go and let it go its way. Because the things we do, some to others, it won't pay us no difference. Because if somebody hurt you, you want to go out and let out and hurt them. Many times in life, we just don't understand how things become, or we don't understand how things happen. It could be for the good, or it could be for the bad. And when things like that happen, we still got to figure out, why did this happen? How did I do this? Or why did I do this? Or why does it have to happen to me? We don't have to, you figure out why it happened to you, because sometimes there's a reason for it to happen to you, there's a reason not to happen to you. We have to learn that when you're like that and when things happen, you just have to sit down and figure out what happened, what did I do wrong, or why should I go and do the wrong thing to them? You cannot let that happen to you. Cannot. That's why you have to pick up your pieces and walk. And sometimes things happen, you want to look down on people. I did a thing called Don't Look Down on a Man Unless You Pick Him Up, which was a song, the title I got from the Jackson Southerners, Don't Look Down on a Man. There's other things that happen, just like the video we saw of the gentleman that with the police had their knee on this man's neck. That's one thing we got to get off. We got to come from under that and go out and push ourselves forward. We need to push forward because many of us don't think that just because we're a lower class person don't deserve a chance. They do. You cannot let that bother. You got to keep going. You got to keep going strong. Many things that has happened these past 4 months. Schools closed, home schools, and it's been a mess. And a lot of things that were kept under the covers are coming to the light. And when it comes to the, you'd be surprised what's under the cover and behind closed doors. We don't know. You're out here and you're sitting down thinking, well, everything is fine and everything ain't fine. Everything is just a mess, a big mess. And when it get when you really find out, we're going to wonder, well, where did that come from? How did that happen? And it's not really understandable how it happens. Just happened. You could be driving the car down the highway, and you can and somebody behind it actually hits you accidentally. You don't know when, how it happened, but it happens. And sometimes these things happen for no cause at all, no fault of theirs and no fault of yours. There's a lot of things out here in this world that's going on that it's gonna come about. And we won't be surprised. Don't be caught by surprise, and some of them may not be surprised that it will come behind us. Many times that I have went to work a couple of times, and it has happened to me, and it never. I'd be surprised how it happened. I have friends and sad and lonely, and they do things. These old friends, people I met from years back, and they had talked to me and say, "Well, what can I do? How come you still going strong?" Well, I keep moving and keep pushing myself to keep myself together and keep it straight ahead. I have things. There are things in this life, that should be. We all should be happy instead of sad. But there's a lot of sadness in the land. There's a lot of happiness in the land. Therefore, we're gonna have to keep on. We're gonna have to keep on and keep strong, because when life comes in all sizes, shapes, and color, and life sometimes just can't. Just can and can't overlook. You can't overlook it, but you have to keep on going. How far can you go to keep yourself on your feet, to keep yourself straight? You can't let yourself fall down. You can't let yourself be tormented or pushed around or pushed on. And sometimes there's times you have to keep your head up and keep yourself straight. If you want to come in on the conversation, you may call me at 1-877-932-9766. That's 1-877-932-9766. And this is Stairway to Heaven, the world radio's greatest radio, the way radio should be heard. Getting back to another subject, relationships, families, and other things. You got to show them love. And whatever happened in the past, you have to learn for forgiveness. And we need to learn to show each other a lot of love. My wife and I, we all have our ups and downs, but she's the greatest lady in the world, and I love her very much. But I sometimes I get a little stupid sometimes, but she's still there. Like, but we have to learn. We have to grow into love each other. Another thing is that when people get together, they show respect for each other, and they show how much they care for each other. Some people, they have disrespect for each other, and it doesn't. That's no good. And we need to learn to love and show love for each other and respect each other. Another thing I would like to say is that sometimes in life we have to be able to give each other a big hug and a big kiss, because when you give a big hug and a big kiss, that's showing love. And many times God will make it all right for you, and He will look down on you and let you know that, hey, I'm in control. By me saying make it all right means that your problems are over. And He may not, like they said, He may not come when He wants to, but He's right on time. We just gotta try to pull our worries out, pull our ups and downs out. There's time in life when we get so disgusted and get so upset, things can be worked out. Sometimes we get to the time where you're down to your last dime and say, you wonder where I'm going to get my last dime, and He'll make it all right. When you feel like you get ready to get your gas, your lights, your electricity cut off, and you feel like, well, where I'm going to get this, or how I'm going to get this paid off, you don't worry, God will make it out all right. It seems like everything that I said earlier, that a lot of people just pushing each other, trying to tear the whole world down, but they forget. But whatever they're going through, He will be there and He will make it all right. You just can't. You can, and you just have to keep holding on to His hand, because if you don't, you let go. And that's it. You drown. Just like Peter, when Jesus was walking across the water, and Jesus told Peter, keep your eye on me and don't be afraid. You can do it. And when he did it, he took his eyes off Jesus and fell into the water. This is how we get hooked on things that shouldn't be, because when we take our eyes off Jesus Christ and off the Lord and sink. But if you keep your eyes on Him, keep your eyes ahead of Him and keep your eyes on Him, you will not sink. But some of us don't care about sink, rather sink instead of swim. And when you start sinking and swimming, you forgot about your eyes, your focus. But still, whatever you do, He's gonna make it all right to pull you out of that rut. Some of us are getting that rut so bad that they don't want to let go. You'll stay there and you'll stay there and you'll stay there until you rot. Or you stay there till you get to the point. And then when you get to the last minute come on, you get ready to sink and swim, sink to the bottom, and you holler, Lord Jesus, then He will make it. He'll pull you out and He'll make it all right. We have to start. Let the problem go and let the stress go, and think of things ahead. You keep on going, and you give up, and his hands are right there waiting for you to pull you through. But some of us got to get something. But some of us, in our own way, we get to the point where I don't need to do that. I can go on without it, or go on without him, and next thing you know, you're down there. But still, you must remember, he still makes things all right for you, and you'll make it if you keep trying. He'll make it if you hold on. You'll make it if you don't give up. Because when you give up, that's when you sink. And when if you give up, you get to the point where you don't care. And if you give up, when you give up, you just throw everything that you had in progress. You throw it. I'm gonna throw it away. And when you give up and don't try to make it, you just, hey, I'm at the bottom of my rope, and I'm gonna stay here and waddle. But you get to a point of time, you're gonna have to start climbing that rope, pulling up. You're gonna have to keep on pulling up until you get to the top. It's not always easy, and it's not always hard. But the hardness comes when you make it hard. But when you get to the top, Lord Jesus will make it all right. But when you're still crawling and you're still trying to get there, don't let yourself waddle. But some of us get to the tent we want to waddle. Some of us get to the tent that we want to stay right there where we want to be. And you don't have to sit there and stay where you want to be, all right? You're going to have to get up out of that rut. But if you come out that rut, things will be all right. You got to stop being scared of that rut or that problem. Because as long as you stay in that problem, you'll never make it. But you got to make it, build up in your mind to make it all right. And when you don't feel that you can't make it, you got to pull yourself up and raise your hand up. Say, Father, I stretch my hand out. Help me, please. And when you do that, things will make all right. We have to try to stop trying to be this and that and the other. I'll get along. And each time you say you let go, you sink one by one. You sink at the first step. You sink at the second step. And you sink at the third step. And when you get below that third step, what you gonna do? That's when you're down on your ground. That's when you're down on level. You got to try to think of yourself, what to do and what to do. But like I said, Jesus told Peter, keep your eye on me and you won't sink. But when you do that, say it again, you do it, you're still going down and down and down. You hit that third, at first, you're down your feet. When you step in water, like you're going to a swimming pool, the water's at your ankles. As long as you keep walking toward that water and get to your knees, that's step 2. Or what you gonna do then? Keep walking until you get to your hip. And when you get to the hip, you got a chance, either stern it or keep going or keep sinking. But some of us don't want to, some people don't want to do it. They'll keep walking. Oh, I like it down here. I love it down here. It's good down here. But at the same time, you're looking up to the top. What am I going to do? What can I do? What's going to happen to me? You're still down in the water or down in the sink or down in the mud, still looking up. But Jesus is still up there with his hand waiting for you to come up so you can walk the water with him. Although there's others that believe that this can happen, those are others that believe that it cannot be done. And there's others that believe that, hey, what the heck what can I do? They rather stay right there. Even go to your friends and go to them and say, hey, I can help you out if you let me. But they don't want to let you out. Your hand is still waiting. And Jesus' hand is still sitting there waiting. And there's something like they say, Jesus is waiting, but you don't to get your hand, but you still want to stay there. There are some of us get tired, and they want you to grab Jesus' hand, but still, some of us still want to stay. I'm staying here till I want to make up my time. Brother, sister, let me say you this: you don't have no time. The time is getting short. You don't have no time to do the time is getting short. You don't have, just getting to the point, you don't have time to do during the time. You got to do it when the time is right. You don't have no time to say, I'll get there when I get there. You don't have no time. That Jesus' hand is waiting for you to grab it. And you don't, then when you're down there, you just don't have no time to say, I'll do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. Because you never, tomorrow is not promised to you. And when it's not, then what you going to do then? You don't know when the time comes for us to go. But still, Jesus is waiting for you so you can grab him by his hand. And if you consider yourself and look at yourself and think, I'm going to stay here and think yourself, you don't feel nothing, I'm going to stay here and sit and waddle. Then what's going to happen then? You may see your friends, and you may see your friends be gone, and you may see your friends getting to the point where they are not there. And then they may be gone, and you still stuck there sitting down there on a bench, or you looking up, or you still sitting on the outside. I'm on the outside looking in. Then what? You just got time waits for no man. Time gonna keep going on. And while you sitting there walling, the hand is waiting for you to pull you up. His hand is waiting for you to take care of you. His hands are there to see you through. You have to make up the time, and you have to make up the mind. And you got to take the time to say, I got to get out of this. And you got to come to your mind and say, take my time, get up and walk. Because I want to walk across that water with the Lord and keep my eye on him. As the time is going, the time is ticking. And when it keeps ticking and you don't get there in time, what you going to do then? You just going to sit there and wait. When you get ready to go, try to do it. You may not have time to do it, because if you don't grab the time, take the time and study yourself and go for it, it won't be there. But still, I say, he's waiting for you to grab his hand, to walk with him and talk to him. And it's on you. Jesus is waiting, and it's on you, not yourself. Come on. You got to learn. I got to come on out of that water. I got to come on up, out, and walk that water. I got to come on up out of that mud. For sometimes, when it's time for you to come, you will be able to come out of the water. As I said before, this is the second anniversary of Stairway to Heaven, and I hope and pray that you will get it. There'll be more of this anniversary during the time of the rest of this month. There'll be more time, and like I said, it's hey, this has been a beautiful second year. Going into the second year. First year was beautiful. I hope the third year come be just as good as the first and second. Remember that, as I always say, that on to my YouTube fans and YouTube visitors, I'm gonna say this: remember, God loves you. Don't mind nothing but the garden. Don't let nothing grow. You put it in yourself. You got to keep listening to keep going and keep holding on, because we do need each other. You can't let yourself stand and sink. You got to keep on going and keep on swimming for all of that we can do. All right. Goodbye. You're trying to see you the next time.